It's April 23rd, 2016, and today I'm making a DC-17. For this build, you'll need PVC or a dowel rod, EVA foam, thin craft foam, foam core, green putty, pen springs, silver rub and buff, sandpaper, white glue, hot glue, paint, a sharpening stone, a respirator mask, goggles, sponge brushes, a rotary tool, scissors, razor pens, or a box cutter. First, cut an 11-inch length of pipe. I used a PVC cutter to cut this length of pipe, but I had to level it out with my rotary tool. Then trace a small circle and a wide circle onto scrap foam, cut them out, and clean up the edges with the rotary tool. These will go in the back end of the barrel. I'm making this out of EVA foam floor mats. You can really make these props out of all sorts of materials. For example, MDF or LDF, which is much more sturdy. But I don't have a scroll saw, so foam! Trace and cut a 3x10-inch rectangle of foam that you can cut the shape of the gun out of. Once you've got that shape, flip it over and trace it onto foam for the other side. Now draw a heat sink onto one side panel, cut it out, and use it as a stencil to trace another heat sink on the other side. So I like this prop because it looks like a Glock and an Uzi had a baby that was really into sci-fi. Once you've cut those out, you can work on the internal structure, which again, you can do this however you see fit. It's on the inside, no one will see it or know. I just did it this way to strengthen the whole thing overall. I also removed some of the old diamond pattern to create enough space inside of the gun for the barrel. Otherwise it might have bowed out. Make the walls of the pistol the exact width of the barrel. To get that curved cut that meshes perfectly with the barrel at either end, I use my rotary tool. Once all the walls are finished, close it up. Use the wedges from earlier to fill in the bottom of the heatsink. Use scrap foam to make the sight and the handle. Once you're confident in the handle's shape, use it as a stencil to cut the opposite side. Glue them together and attach it to the barrel. Use more scrap foam for the side details. These are the details that make it seem vaguely reminiscent to a Glock to me. You know, those side grooves on the back of the slide. Make a trigger out of scrap foam core and pen springs. I went into much more detail on how to make a trigger like this in my Fallout 10mm pistol tutorial, so check that out if this isn't immediately comprehensive to you. Glue it onto the handle. Use craft foam to hide the rough, pilled edges of the trigger guard. Use scrap EVA for the final detail, and there we go. You're ready for sealing. Seal it in 5 layers of watered down white glue. Allow it to dry in between layers. Oh, by the way, this is just how I paint replica pistols. I just think it's convenient. It's just the easiest way to do the whole thing at once, and I can easily move it from my painting area to my drying area in front of a box fan. When the glue is dry, fill in the cracks with green putty. I actually found some leftover Bondo, but it's a bit too heavy duty for a pistol prop. When the putty is dry, sand it smooth and recoat it in another layer of white glue. Pro tip, if you have a belt sander, then you might not have to go through the whole process of filling in uneven surfaces. Craftsman, please send me a belt sander. Now paint it flat black. When the paint is dry, add silver rub and buff to the edges, which will give the illusion that the black top coat has worn away, revealing metal underneath. And there you go, one DC-17. Now go blast some battle droids, which should be pretty easy, all things considered. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then you can check out some of my older videos by clicking the annotations right here, or the cards if you're on a mobile device. You can also subscribe for new content, which I try to release every Tuesday and Thursday, and sometimes Sunday. If you want to help out the channel, then you can head on over to my Patreon page. If t-shirts are a thing, then I also have a TeePublic store. Also, all the social medias, link in the description. Jake out.